Hi, I'm Booger from the Lazy Opinionated Punks, and saw a couple memes on my Facebook today from some of my Facebook friends who are Christian or faithful or religious, believe in God. And the first one I'm going to address is never be afraid to pray anywhere. Do you agree? Of course I agree. You, even as an atheist, as someone who doesn't believe in, a higher power, I do believe in a person's right to believe in whatever they want. Just as I expect the same kind of gesture from you. Same kind of respect from anyone of faith or of non-faith. I expect the same kind of understanding and respect from anyone, no matter who you are. Atheists aren't saying that you can't pray anywhere. No one's trying to stop you from praying. No one's saying that you can't believe what you want to believe. Honestly, I don't understand why you believe what you believe. But that doesn't mean that I want to keep you from it. Just as I'm sure that you don't understand why I believe what I believe. And in a country where it was founded on freedom of religion, we should all be accepting and understanding of one another. And wherever you are, you have the right to pray right then and there, whenever you feel like it, for whatever reason you want. That's the beauty of this country, that a lot of people either take for granted or a lot of people don't realize. You need to understand that the atheists don't want to take your religion away from you. And atheists don't want to take your freedom to express your religion or practice your religion away from you. All we ask is that you don't push it on us. That you don't tell us that we need to be part of your religion or recognize your religion over anyone else's belief. That's all we're saying. It's not, I don't see how it's a hard concept. But a lot of Christians and people of faith seem to think that atheists are trying to stop religious people from expressing themselves and being who they are. Not at all. If I go anywhere and I see someone praying, I'm going to leave them alone and let them pray. That's your right as someone who lives in this country. And I'm glad you have that right. You having that right means that I have the right to do what I want to do and believe what I want to believe. And if I start complaining about your rights, then that means that you can complain about my rights. And we should all believe what we want to believe. We should all be able to pray if we want. We all should have the option not to pray if we don't want to. And I don't think any Christian should force their beliefs on atheists, just as I don't believe that any atheists should force their beliefs on any Christian. We all have the right and the freedom to believe whatever we want. But I don't know any atheists, at least personally, that would object to any Christian praying wherever they wanted. All we ask is that you don't push your beliefs on us. That's it. So if you want to pray, go ahead and pray. I don't care where you pray, when you pray. It doesn't matter. Now, this brings me to the second meme that I saw on my Facebook. Second meme says, our children should always be allowed to pray in school. Do you agree? Yes, I agree. Children should always be allowed to pray in schools. What I don't agree with is when there is designated prayer time within schools. Now, I know that a lot of Christians would love to have a designated prayer time that's led by the schools, so that your children have a set designated time to pray. And I understand the want, but you also have to see things from another person's perspective. If you have a designated prayer time and designated led prayer time by the school for Christianity, then you have to be fair all across the board. There needs to be a designated prayer time for Muslims and Hindus and Buddhists, and country where everyone is free to believe what they want to believe and worship what they want to worship, and not worship or not believe if they don't want to. In this country where we have such a diverse amount of people, then you have to recognize all those people's beliefs and feelings and be understanding all across the board with everyone. Now, there's only two options if you do that. Either give everyone of every faith and religion their time, or don't give anyone any, and that way no one feels left out and no one feels like they're getting more time than the other. And I think that the best way to go about it is just leave it out of the schools and leave it out of anything that's government. Like, no government should fly a Christian flag or a Muslim flag. No part of government should fly an atheist flag. I think, and what it is in the Constitution, it's stated in the Constitution that it should be that when it comes to faith and religion and belief, that should be separated from government. And I completely agree with that. That's what our forefathers wanted. That's what they put in there. That's what they put in the Constitution. And I 100% agree with it. That if it's not all-inclusive, then it should be non-inclusive. We should leave all belief and all points of view when it comes to religion out of it. Because if we recognize one religion, then another religion is going to say, hey, what about us? And then we got to recognize them too. And then another religion is going to say the same thing when we have to recognize them. And then the whole entire school day, the whole school agenda is going to be recognize Christians from 8 to 8:05. Recognize Muslims from 8:05 to 8:10. And no, just leave it out. Just leave it out. And that doesn't mean that atheists win, because I know a lot of people are thinking that, well, if we don't recognize our religion in schools, then that means that the atheists get their thing. It's because you don't understand what atheist means. Atheism isn't a religion. Atheism isn't its own thing. It's not even a belief. Atheism is a lack of belief. If you don't, it's really hard to explain, actually, because as someone of faith, if you look at people, at atheists who have their own movement and they're saying, no, we don't believe in all that, and we're doing our own thing. And I know it can look like we have our own. It looks like our own religion and our own belief, but it's the complete opposite. There's no religion and no belief behind atheism. It's just simply we believe in what we can observe and what's testable and what can be proven scientifically and logically. And it's just it's simply an absence of anything religious, anything that's beyond what normal reality is. I don't know if I'm wording that right, but I think I mean more that we just go by what's logical and what seems the most tangible, what makes the most sense. I don't even think my explanation does it justice, but still, what it all boils down to is we're not here to take away your religion, and we're not here to tell your kids that they can't pray in school. You can pray in schools, you can pray at a restaurant, you can pray wherever you want. We're just asking that you don't make everyone else have to take their time out, and everyone else's children and everyone else to take a pause in their day to recognize your religion. If your child wants to pray, your child can pray when your child feels like they want to pray when they're in school. But if we have a designated time out for that, I hope you understand that that's not fair to everyone else of every other faith and belief or every other point of view. It's best to leave it out. Bottom line, atheists aren't trying to tell your kids they can't pray in school. Atheists aren't trying to stop your children from believing what they want to believe. Atheists aren't trying to tell your children not to have faith. We just don't want it pushed on us or our children. That's it. I'm Booger from the Lazy Opinionated Punks. Please subscribe, leave a like. Thank you.